What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. In this video, we are going to talk about the fighter tank hero, Balmond. Balmond has a good set of regeneration effects, dash, area of effect, and bears skills. Our Berserker, Balmond, is a fighter tank hero. I consider Balmond as an offensive fighter since his second skill deals increasing damage continuously. Not only that, his ultimate skill lets him deal more damage depending on how injured the enemies are. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Balmond based on my experience. We will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain his skills one by one for further understanding. Balmond's passive, Bloodthirst, lets him recover health by killing bad creatures. Every time Balmond kills a minion or jungle monster, he regenerates a small percentage of his maximum health points. On the other hand, killing an enemy hero will regenerate a noticeable percentage of his maximum health. Balmond's first skill, Soul Lock, lets Balmond charge forward. Using this skill will make Balmond dash towards a designated area. When he hits an enemy hero along the path, he will immediately stop and slow the enemy hit. Enemies hit will receive physical damage. Balmond's second skill, Cyclone Sweep, lets Balmond spin his heart out like there's no tomorrow. Using this skill will let Balmond spin with his large axe and continuously deal damage to enemies beside him. Each time an enemy is hit by this skill, their damage taken from this skill is increased by a certain percentage. Balmond's ultimate skill, Lethal Counter, lets Balmond smash enemies with his giant axe. Using this skill will have Balmond hit enemies in a fan-shaped area in front of him. Enemies hit will receive physical damage and an additional true damage based on the target's lost health points. They will also have their movement speed reduced. The maximum damage of this skill against non-hero units has a limit. There are so many items that you can buy for Balmond. You can focus on items that grants physical attack, critical hit chance and damage, spell vamp, health, and items that boosts our regenerating abilities. You can consider the Mlbb build if you prefer to be an offensive fighter more than ever. You can also consider the Fight Tank build if you prefer tankiness over anything else. But let's talk about the Kurumi way further. As a starting item, you can consider Warrior Boots. This item grants you additional physical defense and movement speed. Its unique passive grants additional physical defense as buff on each basic attack received. The physical defense received can stack and can reach to a maximum of 25 points. This lasts for a few moments. Buying attack items, such as Bloodlust Axe, will let you sustain your health in team fights. This item grants physical attack and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive grants Spell Vamp. Spell Vamp regenerates health points from damage dealt by skills. You can consider buying Berserker's Fury. This item gives you additional physical attack and critical chance. Its unique passive grants you additional critical damage on your critical hits. Also, dealing critical hits will increase your physical attack by a certain amount for a short period of time. Take note that the critical hit chance is applied on your second skill damage. You might want to consider Oracle. This grants health points, magical defense, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive increases shield absorption and HP regeneration effects. This can significantly boost the regeneration effects you receive from your passive skill, and this also affects health gained from Spell Vamp. You can also consider Dominance Ice. This item grants mana, physical defense, movement speed, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive lowers the movement and attack speed of nearby enemy heroes. Lastly, you might want to consider Queen's Wings. This item grants physical damage, health points, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive reduces damage taken by 50% when your health is less than 40%, and also increases your physical lifesteal by 30%. This lasts for 5 seconds. The item build for Balmond really depends on the enemy's lineup. So make sure to read each item's descriptions so you can adapt in-game. One of the best spells to be used on Balmond is Petrify. You can use Petrify to deal magic damage to enemies around you, and petrifies them for a few moments. This can really help you attack enemies peacefully when they are petrified. You might also want to consider Vengeance. This spell will deal magic damage to enemies attacking you. The damage computation depends on a percentage of the damage dealt to you. In my opinion, the best emblem set to be used is the Custom Fighter Emblem set. Custom Fighter Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a skill-type fighter. Set Bravery to its max level because it can give you extra physical damage. Higher physical damage means higher damage for your attacks. Setting Invasion to max level will provide you physical penetration. Higher physical penetration means higher damage on your basic attacks and skills. Get Festival of Blood to be granted 8% of spell vamp. Killing an enemy hero grants an extra 1% spell vamp. This spell vamp is really helpful in the early game, since your skills will regenerate some health for you. Set second skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the damage of this skill higher. That means, you can deal more damage to enemy heroes and clear lanes easily with this. Prioritize first skill less since your second skill is what you need to deal more damage to enemies. Always upgrade his ultimate skill when available for upgrading. Balmond was reworked recently and his damage output was boosted. Now you have the power to be a killer while trying to tank for your teammates. Balmond's passive skill is what you need to survive in some team fights. With the ability to regenerate health when getting the last hit on minions, jungle monsters, and enemy heroes, you are healed a percentage of your health. Killing a minion or a jungle monster will regenerate a little percentage of your maximum health. But when you kill an enemy hero, you are healed a massive amount of percentage of your maximum health. This can help you survive even being under the enemy's turret as long as you still get last hits. When you just engage in a team fight, even if the enemy got you injured so badly, you can opt to get last hits from monsters to regenerate health. Balmond's first skill is what you need to charge towards the team fight. Enemies hit along the path will receive physical damage. Take note that when you hit an enemy hero, the dash will stop and they will receive a slight knockback. This also applies to minions and jungle monsters. But you are still able to reach the maximum distance of dash. You can use this skill to either chase enemies or escape death. The slowing effect will have the target's movement speed slowed down, and you can use your second skill instantly to let them feel the wrath of your Spinaroonie. You can use this skill to escape death since this lets you pass through obstacles. So better utilize this ability in terms of combat. Balmond's second skill is what you need to deal deadly damage to the target. Enemies hit by your axe during the spin will receive physical damage after a few instances. Each time an enemy is hit by this skill, their damage taken from this skill is increased by a certain percentage. So it's better to slow down the enemy then use this so that they will receive the full damage from this skill. You can also easily clear minion waves with your first and second skill. Cutting lanes will give you more advantage since you can get all the last hits from that minion wave, healing you big time. Also, this skill lets you move while dealing damage with a Spinaroonie. When you engage in a team fight, you can just use your second skill to regenerate health when you have spell vamp items or emblems. With the high damage output of your second skill and with the help of spell vamp items and emblems, you can tank the Lord and regenerate your health back like nothing happened. Balmond's ultimate skill is what you need to instantly finish off enemies that are almost dying. Enemies hit will receive physical damage and an additional true damage based on the target's lost health points. This is best used when enemies are trying to escape with low health. This feels like the Judgment Day has visited them early. Take note that this skill has a casting time and isn't casted instantly, so the enemies will still have time to blink away from their death. This is also best used on team fights that even if you wasn't able to deal the finishing blow, the slowing effect of this skill could help your team chase the dying enemies further. Here we are again with our experiments. We have our lab rats, Rakuten and Valerie, to demonstrate with us some heroes that can greatly counter or dominate Balmond in-game. First we have Helkert. Let's see if Helkert's silence can cancel our Spinaroonie. As you can see, we continued on spinning even silenced. Balmond is the type of guy who still keeps on talking loud inside a library. How about let's try silencing him while he is casting his ultimate skill. As you can see, he stopped the casting upon being silenced. Now Balmond finally knows to abide by the library rules. Next, we have Baxia. Baxia's skills can lower its target's regeneration rate, so better be careful if there is an enemy Baxia, or the enemy has anti-regeneration items like Necklace of Durance or Sea Halberd. Next, we have Lolita. Let's see if our stun can stop his spin-a-rooney. As you can see, he was still spinning even when stunned. Maybe it's because of the momentum. This time, let's test if Balmond's ultimate skill will pass through her walls. As you can see, Lolita still met her painful death. How about let's try stunning Balmond while he is casting his ultimate skill. As you can see, we were able to stop Balmond, but don't celebrate yet, since it just stopped his casting but he can use it again instantly. Next, we have Kaja. Let's see if Kaja's ultimate skill could stop our spin-a-rooney. As expected, the spin was stopped and Balmond was pulled by Kaja. Now, let's have Franco. Let's see what will happen if we hook Balmond while spinning. As you can see, Franco just loves to play with spinning tops. Balmond just kept on spinning like nothing happened. Now if Franco uses his ultimate skill against Balmond while using his second skill, he stops on spinning. Next, we have Odette. Let's see if Odette's song can be stopped by Balmond's first skill. As you can see, Odette experienced a short knockback which cancelled her swan song. Balmond probably hates love songs which reminds him of his ex. Next, we have Valir. Let's see if his second skill with knockback can stop Balmond's spin-a-rooney. As you can see, Balmond just went with the flow and still kept on spinning after the push. Now, we have Guinevere. Let's see if Guinevere's second skill with knock-up can stop Balmond's spinning prowess. As you can see, Balmond stopped spinning after being knocked up. This is probably he saw something when Guinevere was airborne. So kids, don't be as bad as this bad Balmond is. How about Flame Shot? Can the knockback from Flame Shot cancel Balmond's ultimate skill casting? As you can see, it was cancelled. Don't celebrate yet, because the knockback might have cancelled Balmond's ultimate skill casting, but it didn't reset its cooldown, which makes him able to cast it again as soon as possible. Next, we have Ling. Let's see if Ling will be affected by Balmond's spin-a-rooney when he crosses above Balmond. As you can see, Ling receives the damage from the spin. This should teach Ling a lesson to learn jumping higher than this. Last but not the least, we have Akai. Let's see whose spin-a-rooney prowess will prevail here. As you can see, Akai can push Balmond towards the wall, but Balmond is really stubborn that he still keeps on spinning as well. Now this is fun to see two spinning tops battling each other. In terms of his combo, we usually follow an extremely simple combo for Balmond. First, use your first skill to charge towards the enemy and slow them down. This is only advisable to do if you are really sure and confident that you won't need your first skill to escape death. Then, use your second skill while making sure the enemy catches all the spin. Make them catch most of the spins to ensure maximum damage output from this wonderful skill. You can use Petrify if ever you think they might use Sprint or Blink out. Then, when the stars are finally aligned to show their horrible fate, or simply when their health is really low, use your ultimate skill. This can deal damage and will slow them down. Or this could be the finishing blow. Additional tip: even if your second skill is really offensive, try not to get ahead of yourself. On this scenario, Roddick went beyond his capabilities and Granger was able to grant him an agonizing death. Another tip: it always happened to us that every clutch moment that we need our ultimate skill, we end up being crowd controlled. Instead of delivering the finishing blow, we get being finished instead. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Balmond. This video just guides you on how to use Balmond the Kurumi way. We would like to thank our cutie lab rats, Rakuten and Valerie, for being our lab rats for this bootcamp. You can search for them in-game and tell them how much you appreciate them, willing to sacrifice their pride and honor for our sake. Watch their in-game streams and send some flowers and hearts. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Balmond. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to our channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out the community tab for the giveaway post. We have our coffee account just in case you want to donate us some coffee funds. Check our coffee link on the description of this video. Please only trust bootcamp videos from our official accounts. See you on the next Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Cheers.